joining us now to discuss how you can best prepare yourself and your family and your parents for these changes. Please welcome Dr. Karyn Gordon. Come on on. Well, you feel like I do about my parents. I mean, they're just everything. And so when the aging starts to happen, you have to sort of prepare to make sure that everyone's on the same page and everyone's taken care of and everybody has their dignity intact and they're feeling good about things. So you've got some stats for us.
Really interesting. We're heading into it. Yeah. We're already really there. So interesting. Seniors are projected to make up a quarter of the population by 2036.
Okay, that's significant.
Okay? It's huge.
Yeah.
Right now, 23% of people ages 45 to 64 are already currently caring for an aging parent. Spoke to a lot of the audience members, and a lot of you are already doing that. And it's impacting us. Even at work, 43% of people are missing work. Some people are not even taking promotions for it. But the good news part of the story, and I want this to really be the heartbeat with what we're talking about, 88% of people say it's a rewarding experience to take care of their parents. And even talking to the audience, they're like, yes, I would do it all over again.
It's not a burden. It's something that you think that your parents, especially the ones that were really invested in you, they spent a whole lifetime raising you.
Totally.
Right?
Yes.
So this is rewarding, it's fulfilling, it's okay. You just have to figure out how to do it.
Yes, and realize that we're entering into a new chapter.
Yeah.
New chapter, so things actually kind of have to be kind of figured out, but 88% say it's rewarding, and there's some joy in that, which I think is really, really important. So, but it will impact families, there's no question.
It will, so let's talk about that impact.
So it's going to impact us in a lot of different ways. Biggest thing is emotionally. So a lot of us might feel guilt that we're not able to do more, be more with them. It can create some resentment if we're doing more maybe than our siblings.
Right.
It can cause kind of frustration, cause sadness. I've seen it with some clients where they're sad because, gosh, I didn't spend enough time with my parents growing up. And so it can cause all kinds of emotional issues. And then even the aging parent, they might feel very kind of a lack of control.
Yes.
Right? How I've seen confidence kind of plummet. Because like their independence has been affected. And so then relationally, it can cause all kinds of interesting dynamics between aging parents and the adult children, the dynamics with the siblings. And then financially, it does cost more. So who pays for that? And how does it kind of get shared, and how do those decisions? So there's a lot of pieces that are all interconnected that people have to kind of really step into and have those conversations.
Okay, so in terms of how to prepare for all of this and how to navigate this world, what can you give us in terms of advice?
So this is certainly something I've had it. My parents are in their late 70s, and so we had to kind of start navigating this. Tip number one is you want to talk about it early. You want to kind of talk about it early. Don't kind of wait to the end. When I started talking about it with my parents, they were in their early, kind of like late 60s, early 70s. Start talking about, like, what do you want that to look like? What's kind of the goal? What's the vision?
Right.
And make it very casual. And versus, we need to have the talk, right? And everyone's like, oh! Right? Like, you don't want to do that. Make it part of the conversation. It's the next season, all right? It's the next season of life, right? So make this kind of like, so you want to have the talk early and making sure that the siblings are kind of around. Like, what's the vision? Would you want us to be living here, somewhere else? Would you want to be living south? You know, like, just start talking about with what really is the vision. That's really critical to start the conversation early.
Okay.
Second thing is you want to start assessing the needs. Okay, really kind of start, once they actually start aging, start assessing the needs. Most people will not say what they need. So we have to pay attention. We got to use our eyes and our ears.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you go into their house, kind of in the 5 kind of categories I'd encourage you to think about is look at their home. Are they taking care of their home? Is the lawn getting cut? Their hygiene? Is there food in the fridge? Their mobility? And really assess the needs. Third step is start asking them, what is it that you want? One of the biggest mistakes is that we take over.
Right.
Okay? You don't want to do that. It is very important for aging parents that they have a sense of control.
Right.
That they have a sense of independence. So when you see the needs, you want to raise it saying, here are the needs I see, what are the needs you have? And so let's kind of like figure out what does kind of make the most sense in this.
Are your parents very open with you about their needs?
They are, mine are, yeah.
So what if they're just that, we're fine. We're good.
Yes. And
we are so good.
Yeah.
And, you know, you try and offer, and it's like, no, I don't need that. But you can see that maybe they do.
Yeah, so
you just have to stand back
say, you know, I'm
or step
about
back.
this. See, this is kind of what I see.
Yeah.
Where are we a little bit on the same page? And can we maybe try it this way? You have to kind of like be delicate.
Yeah.
You cannot take over.
No, you can't.
Rule number one, you do not take over. Really, they need to have their dignity, really.
For sure.
Yeah. And then the last one is just then think creatively about support. What are different options that people can do?
Okay.
Okay, whether or not you have like in-home caregivers, you have drivers, do you actually somebody to live with you? Do you kind of create it, multi-generational living is a huge thing right now.
Yes.
It's becoming very popular. I'm a big fan of it.
Huge fan.
Yeah. So you got to think creatively about different options.
Yeah, totally. I tried to get my parents to buy the house beside mine several years ago.
Yeah.
They were like, we actually like our house. But I'm like, that would have been so perfect.
Yes.
That would have been amazing.
Yes.
Something really nice that you did with your parents.
Yes.
Talk to me about the cottage.
The cottage. So I had a dream. I'm going to get emotional if I start on this. I had a dream that my grandmother lived with us till I was 13.
Beautiful.
And it was the most beautiful gift. And I was very close to her. So I had a dream that I would love to have my parents close to us.
Yes.
So when they started hitting their 70s and they had a cottage and they were, every time I called them, they were like raking and it was like work. I said to my husband, I would love to build them a cottage. And so we built them a cottage. And we showed that to them surprised last fall.
Oh my goodness. There
they are. They look like hostages. Don't they look like a hostage? They look like hostages.
Yeah,
there they are.
End well.
Yeah, it's going to end.
There's nothing better.
Well, I wanted them. I said,
I
I financially save your money. We'll cover it. Go travel. So they're going on cruises. My mom is writing her life story. My dad's writing a next book. I'm like, I want no financial stress. I just want you to be healthy and live and spend time with my children.
That's a beautiful gift for the kids and for your parents.
For everybody.